Hello and welcome to Maximum Power Up. I'm Paul. Today I'm going to do a video. This is 1st of October when I'm recording this. So I'm just going to have another look back at a few magazines from 30 years ago. So October 1991. So I'm just trying to think of, obviously I said in the last video I did a few weeks ago, now in year 7 at high school. Had short hair then as well, but anyway, I think around this time as well I had Burnt Head's Bogus Journey seemed to be like a big part of my film watching life around that time, because I do remember going to cinema to watch that. I'm sure that came out about that time. Anyway, today I'm going to cover a few memories from, like I did with the last video, Mean Machines, Zero, and also the weekly Games X magazine. Again, as I say every time I mention this, one of my favourite magazines, even though it only lasted 1 year. So this is going to start with Games X. So the last video I did had one from a few issues before, which had Robocod on the cover. This one we've got the Blues Brothers, which is a game I've been playing fairly recently because I did a piece for Amiga Addict looking at a few film tie-ins. So it gave me a chance to replay it because as a kid quite liked it, done by Titus, and they did quite a lot of decent platformers back then for the Amiga and ST, and yeah, a bit cartoony, you know, but still, you know, recognisable sprites. But I will get to that in a minute when we get to review. So this is 3rd to the 9th of October 1991, so a couple of days early, but you know, I just thought a day or two, it's not too bad. It's the closest new issue. So as always with Games X, we start off with the news, and this game down here at the bottom, Heimdall. Again, if anyone used to watch Games Master, which a lot of us did, I'll probably recognise that challenge, recognise that game from a challenge, because that mini game where you got to cut the braids of someone's hair by throwing axes, that was featured, and that's like one of the main things I remember from Games Master. Yeah, it's just always stood out, that challenge, for some reason. There's not really, like I say, I'm just going to look at the main things that stand out. I always like looking at these. We've got an advert here for Silica, who were massive for home computers back then, the Amiga and ST. So we've got an ST pack there. I'd had my ST by, what, almost 2 years at this point. And this was really, I'd say a year down the line, the ST is more or less dead. You know, not fully commercially, but, you know, more or less gone. And then again, the weekly Gallup charts. So obviously you have a big top 20 chart, and then you had a few small ones as well. So just to basically read out a couple, you've now got Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker at number 1 on the All Formats chart. Again, said so many times, not a massive fan of sports games, but that is absolutely brilliant. And it's also number 1 on Amiga, and also number 1 on ST. For PC, you've got number 1 Wing Commander 2, and budget computer chart, we've got New Zealand Story, Bubble Bobble, Batman the Movie, Shinobi, Indiana Jones Lost Crusade. And I've read out of well, more of a budget chart, but some of those are great games, you know, I spent absolutely hours on. So this is something that I saw earlier, and I don't think I've ever seen this before, and it's this. So obviously it can't be, you know, not real, but licensed or anything like that. So it's saying you can play NES games, and obviously that's not a NES, that's not a Famicom. So I'm going to tweet about that later, see if anyone remembers it, because I actually am intrigued, you know, to see if anyone actually ever owned one. I mean, what does it say? Suitable for UK, USA, Japan, Asian Nintendo games. Comes with 2 joysticks, an infrared joystick with turbo power. And so yeah, so auto cartridge, insert, eject, protection system. Sorry, this is but 120 quid. So this is like a multi-region NES type thing. anyway, we'll just carry on because otherwise I'll just keep on and ahhing what that was. So again, every week a few budget reviews here. These ones are your 16-bit ones. Around this time they really were moving away from the 8-bit stuff. Still have the odd page and stuff, but here is a review for the game Moonwalker, which again I recently mentioned, and it isn't very good. It's nothing like the arcade or Mega Drive version. The home computers was just awful. This top-down view, trying to avoid fans and collect things. And there's a few other levels, but it's not good at all. But the main review is this one here, cover star, the Blues Brothers. So just gonna zoom in a little bit just so you can see a few more of the pictures. Not a bad game, this one. I really enjoyed playing it again, and as you can see, it got a good score there as well, 4.5 out of 5. I'll just see what else. Side review there. So we've got Pit Fighter. Again, I used to really enjoy this on arcade. Obviously the digitized graphics looked quite smart back then. I liked after you won a fight being, you know, put on the forklift truck and then having all this money coming in. But the review, 2.5. So not really the best review there, but that's the Amiga, ST and PC reviews. So I am just going to whiz through this as quick as I can really. There's not too much in this one. These are always handy, especially for someone like me who was awful at games. As said before, when you had players' guides and it was a monthly magazine, it took quite a while. But when it was a weekly one, you had some really good guides in Games X. You know, the screenshots were nicely spaced out, you know, so every step of the game, you know, it'd tell you a little bit, you know, with the text and then a picture relating to it. And again, because it was a weekly, you know, you could get through the bit you were stuck on and possibly a little bit, you know, further. Yeah, Crusader Corp, so great game, but again quite tough, like some point and click were. So you got console pages here as well. Again, I said in the last video, the Game Boy screens are quite hard to see, but I'm not surprised trying to go up screenshots back then. Anyone that's listened to any of the magazine guest interviews, people like Neil West and who else? Well, we'll say like Nick Clarkson as well, you know, who obviously worked on this magazine. Some of them are really hard to get, you know, clear pictures of, and yeah, I don't know, you can still make out what everything is. It's just obviously a sign of the times, really. Castlevania 2 on the Game Boy, 4.5 out of 5. So obviously, like, must-own game there. I don't think I ever played any of the Castlevania games on Game Boy. Certainly not when I had my Game Boy first time round. And then you've got a competition to win a Power Glove, something I've never actually used. And an advert there for the Power Glove as well. How much was that? That was £50. So that's not, I say, not too bad in a way. It's the price of 1.5 games maybe on like NES. So we have actually got a little bit of 8-bit stuff here in a couple of pages. So absolutely filled it best you can. Got a load of reviews. So Rollin' Ronnie, a game that I've said I really like that. Obviously with some of the C64 version, 5 out of 5. Darkman, another film license that I don't mind too much. I got 3.5 out of 5. CJ in the USA, 5 out of 5. Seymour at the Movies on Spectrum, 4.5 out of 5. Slightly Magic, 3.5 out of 5. So they've even chucked little charts in there for the 8 bits and a couple of tips. Just have a quick look at the last thing, then move on to 0. G-Lock preview here. I think that was for the Game Gear, I think it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was for the Game Gear version, looking at the pictures there. But yeah, and on back Terminator 2, massive release back then. So moving on to 0. Now this again, 0 has had some very memorable covers, And this Rollerbabes 4, or just Rollerbabes, and then we've added 4, is obviously an exclusive preview of a game that never actually came out. Someone was asking about it fairly recently, and when I had, oh god, who was it? It was Tim Ponting, because I asked about some of the covers. You know, it's like, oh, you know, we had model agencies who obviously, you know, like knew what we were looking for, you know, so they'd suggest a few people with experience, or also we asked our mates as well, you know, to see if he'd be up for a bit of a fun day dressing up. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm just going to have a quick look at what's in Zero. And first couple of pages here, we have got the Zero cover disc, which features Magic Pockets demo, a game that, again, I've said on here so many times that I really like. Something called Magic Garden, something I don't think I've ever played, even though I'd have owned this magazine back in the day, because by now, Zero having cover discs nearly every issue, I did end up buying it quite a lot. This one, I was surprised, it's just an advert. So this is done by Steve Jackson, who did the Fighting Fantasy game books alongside Ian Livingstone, and this is called Slaughterhouse. So it's a premium rate phone line game. I never actually rang this. I don't know if anyone else did or if I remember seeing it. So you've just basically got to survive the slaughterhouse with maze of monsters, puzzles to solve. God knows how much. There's a free. Oh, hang on. There's free call time to be won. Oh, right. There's free call time to be won and 300 prizes each month. So we'll see. I don't know if anyone actually rang that, because I could just imagine it costing an absolute fortune. So some news. First of all, we've got an advert here for Bat vs Space Mutants. We've got some news here for Elvira 2. Still never actually played the Elvira games. They do look really, really good. Back then, some of the pictures, you know, it's like proper horror. You know, because obviously game graphics were improving, you know, especially on things like the Amiga and the ST. But yeah, they always got good reviews, but still just never actually tried them. Here we have got a bit of news that Game Zone is a new magazine from Dennis Publishing for people that bought you Zero. And I'm only pointing that out because Zero's only got about a year left to go. And then obviously you still had Game Zone and Sega Zone, and that's got quite a bit of a history, and maybe at some point we'll try and go into that on the podcast. So just whiz on through this quick as I can. So here we go. We have got Under Wraps Rollerbabes. So looking at it, it's a bit of a top-down game. Well, just trying to think. So it looks a little bit like the same point of view, you know, like as Smash TV. So a bit top-down, but at a slant. I don't like. Again, this was due out on the Amiga and PC, published by Cinemaware and Mirrorsoft, and it should have come out late September. So that would have been September 1991. But just, yeah, nothing. I wonder like how close it was to actually coming out before it got scrapped. So it was only like a 2-page preview, but that's, you know, quite a big deal to have it, you know, on the cover. I can't remember any other magazines covering it. This is one that did come out. Fantastic game for Samurai. Played it a lot more on the ST. Obviously, because, you know, a lot of fans, you know, it came out on consoles as well, and obviously had Second Samurai. So just to see what the reviews are, I'll just try and get to a few that jump out. Okay, now I got the first Nebulous with my ST, but this is Nebulous 2. Quite fun platformers, you know, where you're just having to, you know, avoid enemies, get up to the top of the tower. Something I've not played for a very long time, really. Just 86% though, not too bad. You know, it's a recommendation, definitely. So, just, there doesn't seem to be tons in this one either, really. But then again, I suppose, like, what, this October, so you're just coming out of summer and, you know, summer months, and then obviously you're going to be heading towards Christmas soon. We have got a review here for Bart vs Space Mutants. Again, at the time, really enjoyed this game. We give it 84% on the Amiga, and also it was featured in, you know, like the Amiga, you know, pack with the actual machine. And I think at the time, obviously, Simpsons was so huge. I think nearly all of us wanted, you know, the Simpsons arcade game. Sadly, that never happened. Although it eventually came out, you know, like on a PS3, you know, on the PlayStation Store and stuff. But back then, you'd be like any Simpsons game. So Acclaim obviously had the license for things like, you know, Game Boy. It came out with NES, just anything Simpsons. You know, you just try and play. The Game Boy ones weren't too bad. And again, Bart vs Space Mutants, I don't know, it's got its moments, but I found it quite tough in places, you know. Magic Pocket's review here, it's been featured the last video and featured again now. 90%. I think you can play that on Amp Stream, so quite an easy one to pick up and play nowadays. Just have a quick look. Not my type of thing, but they always look smart. Gunship 2000. So, not the type of game I'd go for, really. But that got 91%, and that's reviewed on PC. This is a great game. Review here on the Amiga of Rodland. Now, Rodland, fantastic. Cutesy type platformer. 87% there, which is about right. You know, if anyone's not played Rodland, it is available on a few different systems. But it's one that I really like. And then you've also got a review for another great game, Megalomania, Amiga, ST, Mega Drive as well. Again, done by Sensible Software. 89%. Again, that does get quite difficult, but it's one that I, you know, enjoy playing at times. There's no way this should have got such a high score here, but Final Fight, one of my favourite games of all time. So we've given that just 87% there. Now, again, I've said on this show before, I got this for my ST, and yeah, it's not great at all. I mean, it's never going to be as good as the arcade machine, but yeah, I still played it a lot, you know, because I just loved, you know, the game so much. So let's have a look. Just to move on a little bit, then we'll get on to Mean Machines in a moment. We've got the console pages, so we've got EA Hockey, obviously a massive must-own title for Mega Drive owners. As said before, EA and Sega Mega Drive just always knocked out of the park. We gave that 90%. Obviously some later versions have obviously improved on that. But yeah, it's just certain games, you know, titles and series and those EA Sports games were so good, you know, like you say, it's in the game. So let's just see what else we've got. We have got on Super Famicom, Super R-Type. So this was like one of the launch titles over here for the SNES. I think this is like, what, a year before, more or less. So 91%, and then underneath we've got Parodius on Game Boy, getting 93%. So two really good shoot 'em ups there. What else? We've also got Area 88, again on Super Famicom. I think I mentioned this in the last Mean Machines one. They gave it 84% there, which is not bad at all. I think it's just really close to the end of this now. And then, like I say, I'll go on to Mean Machines. Those are, like, you know, the main reviews. There's a lot more in there. I think that's just it with Zero. I know you got like the comedy pages at the back and everything, but every single page is always full of stuff. I think that's one that's still, you know, why it stands out, you know, all these years on. So lastly, we have got Mean Machines. So we've got Super Mario Bros. 3, best console game ever. It was certainly up there because I remember playing this. Mate across the road where I lived, he had the NES, and I remember when he obviously bought Super Mario Bros. 3, and you know, you had the map, you had all the different levels, you had all the different skills, you know, and new suits and things like that, you know, the warp whistles. It just seemed like there's so much in. I mean, obviously this is before Mario World, but it just absolutely brilliant. You know, it really, really, really stood out. So this is issue 13. Cost £1.75. Oh, for the magazines to cost that again, eh? So let's have a look. I'm not going to go through every page because otherwise this video will be on for about another half an hour. We've also got the special reserve. Always good to see this, you know, to see what you know, they're sort of really highlighting here some of the bundles and prices. So Mega Drive with Alter Beast, a joypad, an extra turbo joypad, and special reserve membership, 130 quid. Game Boy, 90 quid with a few other bits, which, you know, comes with any game under £20, as well as Tetris and you know, Game Boy holder and things like that. But anyway, let's have a look at what we've got inside here. So I'm just going to mainly focus on the reviews and bits of news. So let's have a look. Okay, so it just shows the time really, doesn't it? Like when you have a look here, we've got things like Sonic, we've got Homer and Bart, we've got Ultimate Warrior, we've got Terminator 2. So it's sounding about like, it's a Dragon's Fury up here. So just have a quick look. Imageworks and Sega Sensations. So we're working on Simpsons, the WrestleMania game, Terminator 2. So like, you know, some of these are the biggest sort of like franchises at the time. I'm just going to try and finger, here we go, God, see, if you're just filling it with, you know, just like, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. Because again, when they get into proper previews and reviews, they really, really sort of like, you know, go into the game a lot more. But at the moment, it's just like, bam, 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 you know, title after title. So if we have a look even on this page here, you know, this is on about Speedball 2 and Xenon 2 coming on the Mega Drive as well. And then we've also got what is it? We've got Decap Attack coming soon as well. I thought that would have been out by now. So obviously it's saying it's basically Magical Flying Turbo Hat Turbo Adventure, but obviously being reskinned. Again, the main review here is on Super Famicom. Fantastic game. Mystical Ninja, or Goeman, as it's known here. Its original title. So I've been playing this quite a lot. Must have played it on import, you know, but not in 1991. You know, this would have been like maybe even start to 93. But by this time, some of these like Japanese games have been out for what, about a year and a half. So at the time we had in Lee, just down the road from where I lived, we had two decent independent game shops that had a lot of imports. You had one in Bolton called Button Basher, which was again probably about 20-minute bus journey. And again, it was always a mess. I mean, you know, like I remember when that closed down in 2005, so it lasted a long time. And they had so many games, you know, still like in boxes. It was like a time capsule. Really sad when that closed down. But then I did manage to get like a load of cheap stuff. But anyway, just going off on one again there. So Goeman there getting 92%, which makes sense. I don't think I've ever really seen it get a bad review. Price £45. That's not too bad really, you know. So let's see what else we've got. We've got, again, some excellent art here on the Mean Yod pages. That's really good, that Terminator 2 one. And then what else have we got? Is it? Oh, it's Sonic and Yob up here as well. And then what else? Oh wow, that's really, really good. God, I wish I could draw, but see what I mean? Like some of that art, as a kid, I was like, oh wow, that was brilliant. As an adult, I'm even more, still like, oh God, I just wish I could draw like that, because that's fantastic. And then you get things like this as well, little pictures of the team. Keeping an eye on the time. I know I'm coming up to like 26 minutes, so I will try and hurry up a little bit. So I'm going to whiz through the tips, although I've got a 2-page tips here on Streets of Rage, one of the biggest Mega Drive games at the time. Again, I've said it here so many times, I absolutely loved that game. Even last night playing number 4 again a lot, which was one of my favourite games last year. So we've got quite a few adverts in this issue, but now we're getting to the main features. So here we have got special feature on Mario. Obviously it's celebration time. It's his 3rd adventure. Obviously Mario Bros 2 over in the UK was very different, but Mario 3 was a massive, massive jump. So it's going through everything. It's talking about different games he's been in, stuff like this. I'm just going to quickly show you. I think the Game Boy ones are really good. Like they're really, really impressive. So we've got things like Dr. Mario there. So here we go, the NES review of Super Mario Bros. 3. A game nearly all of us will have played. It's just the size of it just seemed to be really, really impressive. I mean, it's giving it a 4-page review, tons of screenshots, absolutely tons. And again, like we said before, this time to be a gamer was so exciting. It's got 98% there. Presentation 92, graphics 95, sound 95, playability 98, lastability 96. And it's just, I know I sound like, I'm always saying it, but because obviously there was no internet then, it was just like any, picture of like what's to come, you'd be all over it, Oh, yeah, Christ, see, I just sound old now. Here we have got the charts. So, NES, Mega Drive, Sega, Game Boy, things like that. Just have a quick look at the Mega Drive chart. Sonic, Spider-Man, Fantasia, PGA Tour Golf, Shadow Dancer. There is no number 6 for some reason. Blockout, Buster Douglas, Super Monaco GP and Arrow Flash. So again, still quite early days. You've not got that full-on rivalry just yet. And the NES, you've got Mario 2, Kong Classics, Double Dragon, Super Off-Road, Solar Jetman, Iron Sword, Turtles, Mega Man 2, Gremlins 2, I love that game, DuckTales. Game Boy, you've got Mario Land, Double Dragon, Spider-Man, Gargoyle's Quest and Golf. On the Sega Master System, Spider-Man, Pac-Mania, Heavyweight Boxing, Dynamite Duke, Impossible Mission, Mickey Mouse, Golden Axe Warrior, Hang On, Paperboy, Psychic World. So there's I don't know, it's a funny time really, because it's when like the consoles have really started to take off, but you've still got a load of mates, with the 8-bit machines. You've still got people with Amigas, STs and stuff. But if we fast forwarded, a year now, you'd see the massive difference in the quality of games as well. Mega Drive review. We have got Outrun, one of the all-time classics. I think we all loved playing this in the arcade. 69% though on the Mega Drive. A pretty good conversion of a coin-op, but disappointing overall. So, I don't know. I mean, you're never going to have the same sort of feel that you do in the arcade. Not for a game like Outrun as well. But, some conversions were just so difficult, to get right. A game, again, played on arcades a little bit. And on the ST, Marble Madness. Not really my type of game, in all honesty. And they gave that 85%. It's always surprising how early this game was on the Mega Drive, but here we have got Turrican. Again, mainly known for the ST and Amiga versions that I used to play. Just zoom in a little bit there. And 73% overall, so not too bad. You know, you class that really as a recommendation, surely. And we've got Zone 2 on the Master System here. So, again, more for my experiences on the ST and Amiga. But yeah, quite good. I love the music. I've never played the Master System version, so I can't really comment on that. But we give it 84%, which isn't bad really. The graphics look alright. We have got another Super Famicom review here, Super Tennis, which again we had as a launch title over in the UK. What did we give it there? 93%. So not bad at all. There were a lot of early tennis games because well, over in the UK when the SNES came out. So you have things like the Jimmy Connors tennis as well. I'm sure there's another one that used a multi-tap as well. And a bit later on, obviously, you had Smash Tennis as well. But Super Tennis, you know, it's in the Super Play Top 100. And yeah, it's seen as like, you know, one of the best tennis games. And you think that's like one of the very first games as well. Again, we've got the advert here with the rip-off Bart Simpson for a games computer club. And then a Mega Drive review here, probably the biggest title, Thunder Force 3 there. Just zoom in a little bit. Again, absolutely awful at shoot 'em ups because I've just got awful reactions. I think that's why I prefer turn-based RPGs. But we gave that 86%, so quite a good score there. I know that when we've asked people for you know, their favourite Mega Drive games, the Thunder Force games get, you know, mentioned a lot. I really do. So called Galaxy 5000. Now I've never actually seen this. This is on the NES. I'll just show you. This is basically from Activision, I think it just said. So I've never ever seen this before. Racing game. Well, futuristic racing game. But that 91% there. So really impressed by that. Just one I've just never ever played. Again, another Mega Drive one, Flicky, based on the arcade machine. 92% there, and that is also included in that Mega Drive cart with Gunstar Heroes on. So not too bad score. Quite fun and addictive to play as well. And then, as always, we have got pages and pages of the Mega Mart. 4, 5, 6. God, yeah, absolutely loads. 6 pages of adverts here because obviously everyone was wanting to get rid of stuff, trade up to consoles. Swap Spider-Man and £5 for Gremlins 2 or Hunt for Red October. What a weird amount. I give Spider-Man and £5. We'll swap Amstrad CPC 464 with £150 worth of games, joystick, cassettes and cases. Mint condition, swap for a Game Boy with at least one game. God, that's not too bad, is it really? What else? We'll swap Mega Drive, Mickey Mouse and Moonwalker for Hellfire, Aero Blasters or any other decent games. We'll swap Spectrum 48K with joystick, data recorder, leads and 135 tapes for a Game Boy and 3 games, or sell for £100. Sorry, this is probably going to sound boring, you know, like Paul sits there and just reads adverts from 30 years ago. I do wonder though when you know, like if you rang up these numbers, you know. Mega Drive games wanted, send lists to 55 Dixon Street. Anyway, we'll pay £15 each for a Mega Drive game. Someone wanted to swap some Japanese Mega Drive games, and you've also got what else? Messages for fanzines, pen pals. Wanted pen pals for Sega Mega Drive and Nintendo Super Famicom. Right to Chris Danks. Super Famicom games to swap. Mega Drive and Game Boy owner wanting pen pal. Anyway, I could just carry on just reading those. But you'd probably get a bit boring. So that is more or less it, you know, in this issue. You have actually got the Yob's Gossip page at the end with all the team going on a holiday. But yeah, that's it. A few big titles in there reviewed. Thank you for watching. As I said, I'm going to try and just do one every few weeks, possibly, you know, a little bit more regular if I can and time allows. Again, thank you for checking out. Thank you for listening to the show. I know I keep saying it, but we are trying to get some content out. So hopefully, you know, I've got a week off coming up in 2 weeks' time, so hopefully I can nail a few bits then anyway. So yeah, okay, keep following us on Twitter, Facebook, things like that. I've been Paul, you've been watching me look at games magazines for a change, and see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.